Hello there. We're live for a spontaneous chill Saturday stream. So this will be whatever you make it, guys. I have no idea how many will show up unannounced like this. So it can be a 10-minute stream. It can be a 2-hour stream. It's going to be up to you guys. Got to be a bit patient here at the start, of course. Have some music. Hey. Oh. Hey guys. Hey guys. Yo guys, we have some guys here. Like the stream, some of you have already. This is spontaneous stream, guys. I'm quite tired today. I've done everything I had to do today, and it's not so nice weather here anymore. Could be worse. But so I figured let's just check in and see if we can get a stream going, but it will be very much up to you guys. Yeah, this can be a 10-minute stream, it can be a 2-hour stream. I would prefer the 2-hour one. That would be a lot of fun. But I don't have a big speech prepared for you guys here. Please talk in the chat. Say hi. How are you doing? You have any questions? Any input? Any question about you, your process, training, diet, mental health, fasting, mindset, psychology, whatever. Any question about me, or life, or whatever? Tjena Kalle Siren. Hello Theo, he says. Hello, hello. Hello Kalle. Tony 420 Toke Bowls. That's a nice screen name, my dude. I'm racing dirt bikes today, bro. That sounds like fun. I've never really tried it. Like I've been on one. I've gone for a little bit of a ride with one long time ago. Dominic T. Hey bro, keep up the great videos. Hey bro, thank you, and I will. Lorta Fant, hello there. Emil, Theo. I don't know what you mean by Emil, in some reference to Astrid Lindgren for some reason. It's because I look like a little rascal, Smålandish boy. Kalle Sirén just changed oil and filters in the wife's car, working on that toxic masculinity. I mean, did she even ask you to do that? I mean, it's so like you just think you as the man have to come and fix the thing for the woman, because of course she can't do it herself. You big patriarch, oppressor. Yeah. That's I start a stream here on a nice Saturday and have toxic masculinity in the chat already. I mean, What am I gonna do with you guys? Yeah, but like I told you guys, I don't have any big thing prepared here. Like, work with me here, talk to me, prompt me, give me something to talk about. Like I can be talkative today, but I yeah, I can be talkative, but I don't have anything. No, I'm empty. You know, guys, I have put out videos like every day since this channel blew up. I don't know, I have a streak for over a month or something, with more than daily videos. Like, except I guess when I was sick and I was fasting, I didn't put out a video every day. But you gotta understand, guys, I'm really pouring out a lot to you here. So now you gotta pour into me a little bit so I get food pour out. Kalle says he prefers that she didn't. Um, I don't know what exactly. That she doesn't get her hands dirty or whatever, fixing the oil on the car. But yeah, guys, I'm doing well. And after the dry fast, you know, it's interesting. I've been cutting. You know, I basically just a bit more unorthodox with the long fast and dry fasting, but I pretty much been like a bodybuilder before a competition. I just stopped a few weeks short about before like stage time. But yeah, having done that dry fast and refeeding and stuff, I've been feeling great. But I noticed that like I die out a bit sooner in the day. It's like in my workouts, I have my strength, but I lose more between sets. It's like now I've trained, I've done, I had some work today, you know, I've been out and about, and now I'm still feeling good, but I'm just a little like, you know. But it's kind of nice, you know, like not exhaustion as like burnout, just like genuine tiredness. Jokubas Akramas, what do you work in a good career but feel depressed inside when you might do what you love but without financial security? What would you do? So I think there's some grammatic issues here. Like, what do you do if you work in a good career but you feel depressed inside and you might do what you love but without financial security? What would you do? I mean, so I'm trying to just understand what it is you're asking, but I guess, you know, if you had a choice between like a good career and like making money and stuff, but you don't feel good, you're depressed, and you have the option to do something you love but without financial security. Well, look, man, it's not always black and white, right? I mean, you can start a side hustle or something that you're more passionate about on the side of having like a career that pays the bills. But what I would tell you always in the end is to go for what you love, man. Alcom, rent money, super chat. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. It's to the protein yogurt pound, you know. But thanks, Alcom, avid stream supporter lately. You know, I love all the guys, but all the guys, you know, obviously contributing with super chats, but also just active in the chat and stuff. I love it. It's great. I'm gonna remember you guys. No, but okay. I would always tell someone to go for your passion. Look, I've been with it's like recently on this channel that this channel is blowing up, and I'm getting more client requests than I've had before, just because I'm reaching more people, right? But I've been working on what I love, not making much money for years, you know. And now it has paid off in the sense that, okay, maybe I haven't had money to do exactly everything that would be convenient or just nice for me, but I've been really enjoying what I've been doing. I've been able to live my life in a way I want. I like my work. I find it meaningful. And now it's actually coming together so it can be more of a financial secure. I mean, I've been able to be financially secure, but like better, you know, if you see what I mean. So, you know, it's not black and white. You can start side hustling on the side of a career that doesn't fulfill you but pays the bills. But I would always say go for what you love. Like, you don't want to be at the end of your life and be like, oh, well, I've been quite depressed, but at least I made money. At least paying the bills was always safe. You want to be there and be like, yeah, I did what I loved in this life. Kalle Sirian, I have a question. Started working my neck, as you might remember. I do. When doing the front, I get like spasm feeling in my throat. Anything you've experienced? So it's been a while now since I started training the neck. I can recall that in the start, just feeling weird. I think you'll just adapt after a while. Like it was actually just because something a friend said. That a friend that's into martial arts, so he had trained the neck for that reason. It was like, don't train it too hard at the start because feeling sore in the neck is not a super nice feeling. So I just listened to that, and I can recall that it felt a bit more uncomfortable. But so what I would say, I think at the start, do higher reps with not so high weights to just kind of get them like used to that movement. You know how many other gym movements, even if this is a smaller one, you had to get comfortable with before. I think the first one I can think of, a front squat for me, super uncomfortable at the start. Like I'm getting choked and it's hurting here, you know. But now, okay, when I go away from the exercise for a while and lose a bit of fat, it will hurt more, but I'll get used to it very quickly. So I think that would be my thing. Stick with higher reps, like close to 20 for some workouts, and then start going a little lower on the like 10 to 15 maybe. See if it improves. John, hey man, hey man, thanks for your videos. You're an inspiration. Well, I appreciate that. I'm glad you like the videos. Lortafat, you have gained a lot of subs lately. How does that feel? Well, it feels great. I talked a little bit about it recently, right? Like, I like the stream, by the way, guys. We're 25 and 8 likes. That's not a good ratio. No, it feels great. I felt like a diamond just been waiting to be found for a long time, right? And of course, you have your doubts sometimes. You know, feel as confident many times, but I've heard for so long from some people, like, oh, you deserve more subscribers. And I'm like, yeah, I know, where are they? Yeah, it feels great. It's like it's so much fun to get so much more input. And I have seen so many like good guys around lately, you know, like appreciative of me, which like just getting the feedback that what I do matters for you, it means a lot to me. But I could just tell, good guys, the right kind of guys, good mindset, smart guys that want to be good men. So I'm very happy. Yokobas Akirabas, thank you for your advice, man. Sorry for the grammar. I did intermittent fasting. Throwback to previous stream where dude said it was unhealthy. Yeah. Yeah, I thought you were saying like, oh, the grammar was affected by the intermittent fasting. But yeah, you know, thanks for the support. I'm glad the advice was good. And yeah, be careful with your heart with all that intermittent fasting, of course. Ian says A10. I don't know why, what that means. Calicidian, making it hard to swallow for a while. Okay, it goes on about the neck. This strange feeling only happens with a movement where the chin moves towards the chest, so to speak. Yeah, I know what you mean. You mean the neck curls. But yeah, it is that those muscles, it can feel a little bit cramped up first. I think it's just a thing to get used to. I think it's just a thing to get used to. Martin, hey Theo, hey Martin. Kill the ignorance, sup buddy, sup my man. Sami Tamimi, Tjena Theo, what's your favorite gyms in Stockholm? So to be honest, it's not like I've been to so many different gyms. I don't know if I should, I mean, not that it's a secret where I work out really. I'm just like, should I just drop where I work out, you know? No, but so the Nordic Wellness I've been going to, which is a former, you know, these gym chains, they will sometimes actually build gyms from scratch or like almost, or it's such an old thing that will just replace all the equipment. But sometimes they buy other individual gyms that just couldn't make it on their own. And so this gym, to my understanding, it was some kind of bodybuilder gym, but they couldn't make it, I guess. But so they have lots of, you know, of course, it's something I want to stress because in my videos you will see me, my recent training it's been more machines than usual. There's nothing wrong with machines. It's just that I like barbells and dumbbells and free weights and weighted calisthenics. But some machines are good, and especially when you're working around some injuries and stuff, you know. So this gym, I would just say, I don't know that it's the best, but it's one of the best like machine parks in Stockholm. But then, you know, I have a hard time saying because it's so much about how you feel about the gym too. Like one other Sats gym I go to, it's nothing special with equipment. I just kind of like the atmosphere there. It's like a size I like, not too big, not too small. They have all the important stuff, lots of racks for barbells, good place to do weighted calisthenics too, you know. And I just like the people there. So yeah, they're just little thoughts about gyms, but I don't think that I can say you this is the one, you know. Um, Disney Doobie One says happy Saturday. Well, happy Saturday to you too. XA Seamer. Hey Theo, I skipped 2 running sessions due to high temperature, 35 degrees. I can't run with that high temperature. Any advice, perhaps? 35 degrees. On which which unit are we talking about here? Because if we're talking about Celsius, it's not a high temperature. Oh, you mean outside? You mean I thought your body temperature. I'm like, man, you're like dying. The temperature is going down. Okay, so you're saying that you skipped running because it's hot. Well, I mean, either you suck it up, see it as a challenge, run maybe a little bit slower. I mean, this all depends on your purposes for running, you know. Of course, even if I would, I always feel it's stupid when people are on a treadmill when it's like nice outside, you know. But of course, you can go to a gym, run on a treadmill. Can maybe just go on a nice shirtless walk, get a nice sweat and tan from the sun. But you know, it's kind of like it's up to you. You know, it's gonna be hot outside. Run, maybe make a challenge of it. Maybe run slightly slower. Maybe run inside on a treadmill. Maybe just go for a walk today, right? Dominic T. Have you practiced any martial arts? I think it's important for everyone to learn at least one good martial art. I'm looking to start judo, the grappling art of throwing and submission. Now, people ask me, and it is one thing that is on my like list of things I will take up at some point. But you know, it's this thing. I both feel like I want to push the kind of training that I like the most. I have more gains on the table, you know, so I want to make it a priority for a little longer. But then outside of this, there's so many different things you want to do. You know, I want to learn to dance too, because you know I'm strong, I'm flexible, I have rhythm, I'm musical. I just am. I have bad agility. I look very clumsy when I move, and so I think dancing would be cool to learn, for instance. But yeah, definitely martial art is another thing on the list. And I was also thinking in terms of like judo, jiu-jitsu, like grappling, because when I just tried like a little bit of boxing and grappling and wrestling, you know, both people tell me that I look like a wrestler all the time with a big yoke, you know, a big upper back. But also it feels much more natural to me when I like grab someone and like using the entire body like that. Less explosiveness and more just like brute forcing, you know. So yeah, I am not currently, but definitely at some point it will be something I do. Disney Doobie One discovered Uncommon Sense 4 weeks ago. Yeah, cheers. Makes sense. A lot of people did around then. Do you understand that, guys? First 5,000 subscribers, 1 year per thousand. Now we're close to 13,000, and the ones after 5,300 or so are all in like a little over a month. So it's really cool. Why? Yo, why? Kill the ignorance. Cracks me up when you say something along the lines of stop being a bitch, lol. Yeah, it's kind of funny with me because I have a side that's just very, very just nice and chill and reasonable. I think that part of me is more active right now. But when I get fired up and go ranting, I like to be a little provocative, like a little pushy, a little, you know, aggressive like that. So it's funny, you know, because some people love that kind of thing, like that you're like being a little arrogant, playing into it like that, and some people absolutely can't stand it. Like when I put out that video, women who don't want me are insane, and of course the point is that yeah, I think highly of myself, and I think a woman that would turn me down is probably missing out. But it's not like yeah, I actually think any woman that wouldn't want like that. All the women out there, they just want to be with me. The only reason they aren't is because they can't. All, but someone will come along and be like super triggered by the attitude, while others will just love it. So the people that love it, of course, get what it's about. You know, better self-esteem themselves, that they won't get triggered by a thing like that. Adrian Basaraba, do you drink coffee? Yes, look, please like the stream, guys. We're at half as many likes as people watching, so please like. consider sending a super chat. Yeah, look, man, I did this dry fast, dry dopamine fast, and one of the reasons is that I drink too much black coffee. Sometimes I use snus, tobacco pouches, um, a bit too much. And this dry fast is a good way to push down. I've been doing well since breaking the fast. I've been using like maybe 20-25% of what I usually do. And I think these things are good at a good amount. It's just that I tend to, when I go autopilot, when I'm stressed in life, I use these too much. But I think black coffee, just a reasonable amount, is just good. Like, do you know, guys, that both nicotine and coffee have many studies that it increases testosterone. I think nicotine acts like an aromatase inhibitor. It prevents some testosterone from being converted into estrogen. With a coffee, I don't know exactly. I just know there's a correlation with higher T in coffee. So, guys, for us natties, we take what we want. I love coffee. I love snus. Just try to not overuse it. But yeah. Kalle Sirén, I think you're a great role model for the men to be, young Padawan. Kalle, I like you too. I think it's so funny with like in your entire communication with me, it's very clear that I'm the older fellow here. It's like, I'm older, I'm wiser, and that's why I call you Padawan. But you're good for the younger guys, though. You're doing a good job for the younger guys. Older guy that really knows more, and I approve. But yeah, no, I appreciate you, Kalle. Ronald Witteman, greetings. I just got back from the gym and just in time for the stream. Awesome, man. What did you train? Did it go well? Soup. Training for 4 years. I watched hundreds of videos on the topic. Got the help from a lot of personal trainers. Still can't feel any of my chest, even though my form is good. Any help? The second question is kind of funny from you, but feeling your chest. So look, of course, you want to be looking to feel the muscle you're working, but it's not always you do, Like some movements, you just kind of have to know that it's impossible to not, very clear. I can't flex my elbow without using my biceps at all, But especially on bigger movements, we don't necessarily feel like compared like doing it like a cable fly with even low weight and super high reps, very isolated to the chest. Of course, you're gonna feel the chest eventually, but if you do like a bench press in a like 5 rep range, it's not necessarily that you just I feel my chest so much. So it's what I want to say with this is that it's more important if is your chest development good, then it doesn't really matter if you don't feel it much. But what I say is I don't know about your build, of course, but for some people built a certain way, like some will just have shoulders that take over lots of pressing movements. So, someone with long arms, it might not always, a bench press might target the arms more sometimes. So one exercise, just to throw something out to you, try doing ring push-ups and do them a little bit more flyy, like not go. That's the thing with ring pushes. You can adjust the form to many different degrees, but open your arms up a little bit and treat it as a press still, but it's almost a little bit towards a fly. Try that movement. If you can't feel your chest on that, you gotta be able to. Lord Defant, do you have any injured, annoying joints at the moment while working out? Let me get back to that one because Sup had another question. Recommend way of making money online without showing my face. So why not show your face? No, I recommend showing your face. That's the thing. So much how people, Genetics. A Norwegian, a fellow Scandinavian snooze fund. Well, I appreciate that. It is expensive. I'm saving money right now, thanks to my dry fast, but I appreciate that from a Nordic snooze connoisseur brother. No, but seriously, like showing your face, it's such a good thing to have a personal brand, and that's the opportunity you have now. Like now recently, I'm getting a bunch of clients that, of course, resonate with my ideas and stuff, and some I have different programs and different clients I will focus on different things with some people. But you understand that, for instance, even though I haven't talked all that much about my training in detail on here. It's bigger topics, you know, and kind of spread out. Still, I'm getting clients that just when I like, yeah, I've been looking for a fitness coach. I like your style. Like, let's do it, you know. So you see what I mean? That because of course I have the training tools, but even when I haven't put out so much specifically about training, because I'm out there, people that like me, my personality, my values, you know, everything, they will connect with me. So I would recommend to get over not showing your face and just do that instead, you know. Okay, you have any injured, annoying joints at the moment while working out? So mainly, it's all but gone now, but I can still feel, I had a bit of my wrist. I had to be careful with my wrist this fall, and it's been like a rehab process. Same with the elbow here, and it's a little bit from the same kinds of things, but they're not really annoying anymore. I can, if I went to do super heavy weighted chin-ups, I will probably rip up this again, but body weight reps seem to be fine now. So it's really only my hips. And it's been for a long time on the upper left hamstring. I have like tendonitis. And on the right side, it's more because it's getting better. My hips have been a problem for a long time, but it's better than it has been in a long time. On the right side, it's more on the front and inside. So I can do everything I want. Just if I just had to do one like if today I could do any leg movement I wanted to in the gym, but it's just that if I started doing heavy ass barbell squats every leg work I would rip this open again. So yeah, the goal for my summer with leg training is actually to make myself stay away from the heavy stuff because I just love it so much. I push through too much injuries and stuff, you know. But to actually heal this up. Okay, where were we? Rick Martin. I'm about to start doing group yoga, but wanted to contribute to the chat. Today I watched several of your vids to remind me of some nutrition ideas. I've become too relaxed on calorie intake. All right. Well, enjoy your group yoga. Framebite. Have you thought about having a paid group chat where we could support you and have a place to chat with like-minded people? I literally have 0 people like this around me. Oh man, I've thought about it a lot and I get suggestions from other guys. It's just that, you know me, I'm very much a one-man show here. Like I do everything. Like my dad helps me with a little bit of admin on the like pure company side of things, you know. But everything else is just me. And it's been so much going on lately. I've been focusing on just pushing out the content, onboarding new clients, you know, and working with clients I already have, of course. So there's so many things I want to do, but the kind of community thing, because I know exactly what you say. 0 people like this around me. That's what a lot of us guys feel like, of course. So, you know, guys, any ideas you have, and this too, guys, if you know, well, I was just gonna say I appreciate the super chat, Disney Doobie, $5 here without saying anything. Thanks again, man. But if you want to help out and support, like you can take it upon you to either, you know, just talk to me, tell me ideas. But if there's something you could do, for instance, to help set up a community and stuff, I would appreciate that. But the input too, of course. But yeah, a paid group chat or like a community, like website, like, you know, with a small fee with some like exclusive content from there, but also just that it is a space. Like maybe we would have a group live streaming sessions where it's not just me talking, you know, like, yeah, something like this. It's definitely on the to-do list going forward, for sure. And you know, if you have ideas, guys, anything you can help out with, or you just want to give some ideas, email me or DM me on Instagram. Like, I'm quite, I look at many things. Right now, I'm getting a lot of input, but it's still something I can handle, you know. Rick Martin, thanks for education you provide. I was the group yoga guy. Well, thanks, guys. Thank Guy. I'm glad it's helpful to you. Martin saw a video about growing lacking muscles by focusing on the body's systemic fatigue. Cut training volume to a third and up the load substantially on the lacking muscle. Very interesting video. Yeah, but you know, it's kind of like it's important. Most important is to do more for the lacking muscle, you know. Like, of course, if you're doing way too much volume, there's only so much, you only have so many resources, right? So eventually, like training the legs, doing 200 sets of legs, in a week, maybe that would disrupt even your arm gains, right? But the important thing is something not growing. Well, you probably have to focus more on that. That would be the most important thing. Um, Frame bite. When it comes to coffee and tobacco, the negatives outweigh the benefits. No, I don't agree. Like, because you can't say tobacco too. Like snus is very different from cigarettes. They've been going back and forth. If we're going to talk about the science, it's said on the the warning label, like this tobacco product is addictive and may cause damage, because it's not enough evidence that it damages you. Um, so no, I disagree. Like I've been drinking coffee and using snus for so long. I like what I get out of it. The worst thing for me is just when I use it too much and I actually feel addicted. Like if I don't have it around, I would have a problem. That's my biggest problem. But yeah, no, I disagree that the negatives outweigh the benefits. But this is also one thing, guys. If you're fine without them, of course, why should you use them? But someone else, for instance, this is a good example. Someone else thinks that alcohol, without being like a drunk, drinking all the time or something, but they still think it contributes something to their life, and they would do it a little bit more than me. I'm not necessarily saying just because I think the negatives outweigh the benefits there. For this person, maybe not. So, yeah. Calisthenics slowly getting under your skin. Nah, it's just funny. It's always funny to gauge people's attitude when I'm the center of attention here. It's my channel, and I'm not saying you necessarily, but sometimes people speak as if they're the teacher, and I'm like, Okay, anonymous guy in the comments, thank you for the review of what I do. It's not like leaving like, oh, I agree with this and this. However, this thing you said, I don't quite agree with. That's one thing. But the attitude from some people, as if, I'm the one that I don't know. It's a thing with lots of people and guys. Everyone wants to feel like the big dog. Ronald Witteman. I will send a picture if you have Discord of from gym stuff. I mean, I don't really have Discord. I mean, I have it, but I haven't used it in like years. J, neck gains, like mind blown. Yeah, I got this with the neck. Yeah. See, you want to be able to do that, right? Like the stream if you haven't, guys. Consider a super chat. I'm happy we have a stream going. I was tired but a little bit bored. So this I love this, guys. Alari Lima, bruh, I just got Anavar. Why are you telling me though? Like you just want to hear that don't take it? It's like, you know, I think I'm trying to be very loud about the fact that I don't do gear and I don't condone it. I don't recommend it. Like, to be honest, I think unless you're going, because I understand it, like one reason I'm not really interested in competitive bodybuilding is because I would like to become the best. When I go for stuff, I want to be the best. And I just know that in competitive bodybuilding, if you want to be the best, you have to hop on gear, and I don't want to. So for me, I think competing, I would maybe do it once as a challenge to myself, so I can view it that way. But what I want to come to is that taking steroids without going for being the best, I think it's like such a stupid, dumb thing to do. Like, you don't even need it to just be healthy, strong, and look good. And nah, I don't condone this. Alari. Ronald Wittman. Maybe leather wrist straps for locking in the joint. I mean, you mean for injuries and stuff? Like, no, like as little of, I use as little of those things as possible. Like I did when my wrist hurt, for instance, I could do like bench press when I put on wrist straps temporarily. But generally, I don't like it. What happens if you get addicted to all these support things? Now you're going to grow your muscles, but not your joints. And I mean, you get like addicted to them because now you need them, or else it hurts, or else something is going to break. So as little of that as possible. Dominic T, I love weighted calisthenics. Got me jacked fast. Normal calisthenics is great for beginners too. Yeah, yeah. I mean, calisthenics, you get very far with just body weight movements. There are ways to challenge yourself more without using weight. But that's the thing, I've gotten that question many times. Oh, do you prefer calisthenics or weights? And it's like, no, I like both equally. Why do I have to pick? And can even make the two make love. Put the weight belt on and do some chin-ups and dips. Yeah, and Nord Genetics suggests OnlyFans. It's really funny. Jay says it too. Ronald Witteman says, lol, Framebite, I'm down to make one. If it kicks off, you can transition into a paid model website you want. Well, that would be really cool, man. Like reach me on my email or Instagram and tell me what you have in mind. Tresner, what's up, bro? What's up, brother? Jacob Amalis, favorite ute gym in inner city Stockholm. Well, it's not that I have gone to so many different ones. I would say they're quite similar, most of them, right? But there is one in my neighborhood, and I like it just because it's so close. It's just such a privilege. Like, I live in the best place in the. I just see funny and random hood videos. I'm surprised you survived that fast. Kudos. Well, I appreciate that. Thanks for the credit. No, I live in such a good place, guys. On the edge of the city, close to the forest and a lake, and the outdoor gym. There's one down by the lake too, where they have some machines, like these wooden thingies. So yeah, but I don't know that I have a favorite one. I'm just glad that we have a lot of these days. Larry Lima, y'all are jacked. I went to the gym for 4 years and I'm still skinny fat. Lol. Yeah, do you know how many times I wish I could see all you guys? That's one thing too, when people comment and stuff, that I understand on a medium like YouTube that, oh, you don't have your face and name there. And it's not so much about being anonymous, really. It's just that, if you're not posting videos and stuff, why should you show your, be all out there? I get it, But at the same time, when like guys start giving me a bunch of training advice and stuff, it's kind of like, well, why should I listen to you? Like you're just, you're a little letter and some random made up name on a screen, and you're giving me input on my training. It's like most people have nothing to contribute when it comes to my training. And that's not to say that I'm perfect, I'm the best in the world. I listen very closely to people that are my level or above. But that's what I mean, this thing when I don't mind people interacting with, but it's kind of like when someone either describes themselves, by the way, like they describe what they do and what should I do. It's kind of like, I need to know about you. Who are you? What do you look like? But also when you give me input, I'm kind of like, I need to know if I should listen to you or not. I don't know right now because you're just letters on a screen. Tresner, don't pay attention to all that nonsense. Just do your streams and give advice. If someone tries to argue, just ignore them. Lol. I don't know who do you mean? Because I feel like, have we talked about? Oh yeah, okay. I don't know. I will indulge with trolls a little bit for a while, but when I can tell that someone is like, oh, they're just loving, just taking my time and energy, like the kind of person that feels so powerless, so without influence in their life, that they get off on just like, look, I'm just, I don't know, I'm just affecting this person here. When I notice that they really feed off of it is when I let that person go completely. MD, do you have a calisthenics routine? I prefer to exercise at home with just dumbbells. Like, have a calisthenics routine. This is the thing, guys. I'm thinking about how I should do a video about this. But like me, I of course think of very specific exercises I do when I have a program, I have a certain gym I go to and that. But I think more of I think about movement patterns, So let's say that, for instance, I'm gonna go train push, I'm gonna go train pull, I'm gonna train upper body. and the gym is just closed, I will, I could find a way to get what I need to do done outside. It's not a particular routine. It's just understanding of the body, movements, what movements targets what muscles and that. But you know, this is also, I'm gonna keep throwing out little workout videos for you guys and talk about, like, just do one myself and talk about alternatives, why I chosen some things, why some things are good alternative. I'm gonna start having one on my upper body day. It's probably gonna be a calisthenics day throughout the summer because I want to train the muscle up a little bit. I obviously have the strength, but I've never practiced enough to nail the technique. It would be fun just be able to do. Radvan Siraj, shout out from London. Shout out, man. Tresner, they should outlaw steroids in bodybuilding too. Yeah, but the thing is, it's just that, you know, people will just find the best way to cheat then. You know, that's a big secret. It's not just in bodybuilding that everyone takes gear. Like at elite level of most sports, people will take stuff, you know. And it's like, yeah, and it's the kind of thing that even if it's illegal, if it's just known that everyone else is doing it, you have to do it to be on par with everyone else. And I understand there will be exceptions in some sports where the drugs can't do as much, and there will be some outlier that can compete with people on gear that are natural. It of course matters more in bodybuilding where it's just about growing a bunch of muscle, but really that's something to know. Like in all the elite sports, people take stuff. They just do. Jay, do you like Ryan's vascular physique from King and Ashura? I don't know who that is. Is it some like, it sounds like some anime stuff. I want to see King and Ashura. Vascular physique. Nice face on that guy. Come on. If I like that physique, I mean, it's not a real. I don't like it so much. It's a little bit too grotesque for me. Gabriel Chambers, opinion on pullovers. Great exercise. I did before I hurt my wrist. The pullover didn't quite work. I did quite heavy pullovers with like a C bar. I think they're great. It's kind of an unusual exercise. Like I would say part of my serratus, you know, this cool saw, a little sweaty here, little saw looking, you know, muscle here. Definitely the pullovers boosted that a little bit. It's a big stretch on the lats. It's cool like that. I've been using this pullover machine in the gym. It's one of the better machines, you know. No, it's just a great movement for lats mainly. But the serratus, even in the machine, especially, you get lots of core in there too. Kazooie, oh wow, you're still here after that fast. Respect. Yeah, well, thanks. Jay, do you think lean bulking is the way to go? Yeah, for sure. There's no need to, like, you know, bulking more. It would just be if you are some, you know, I don't know, power lifter and you can get fat and you want to reach your some weight class or something. But it's just like eating in a bigger surplus after like a 500 calorie surplus or something. It's not going to translate to more gains. It's just going to translate to more fat gain. And that's going to mean, you know, being softer and having to cut more if you want to be leaner. So lean bulking, absolutely. Yes. Martin, team nearly exploded, but it worked out. From the fasting, you mean? Yeah. Nor genetics. Is Stockholm syndrome a common illness in Sweden? I mean, I don't know if you just think that it's a funny thing to say or something, because Stockholm and Sweden. I mean, don't all people in the West these days have a sort of Stockholm syndrome? Like, you know, the powers that have abused them and like destroying their country so much, they still protect them somehow, you know, and are afraid of the things that want to change that. So, you know, I think a lot of people are dealing with Stockholm syndrome these days. Dominic T is going to work out with 20 kilo weighted vest dips and inverted rows. Take care, man. That's a nice workout. Take care, man. Funny random hood videos. Thoughts on egoism / Max Stirner. It's straight Max Stirner. I don't know who that is. Some paint, like some painted picture here. It comes up, but it seems to be a real person as well. German philosopher. Egoism. Now, I don't quite know what you mean by that. So, also, if a woman works out, will her bunda get bigger or get smaller and toned? Bunda? What is a bunda? I don't know. Will her bunda get bigger, get smaller and toned? I mean, that's way too general. But, you know, women, if they want to look good, they do the same as men, you know. They build muscle, like the nice shape of the butt. Of course, there should be some fat on the butt, but the shape is not from the fat. That's from the glute muscles, you know. And what makes them, like, this is one thing. I have so overwhelmingly guys following me, and, you know, there's a few, I've had female clients. Many women don't understand that a guy like me, I know exactly how to make a girl hot too, you know, because it's the same thing, maybe just slightly different focus. But yeah, build nice glutes and thighs with squats, deadlifts, Romanian deadlifts, hip thrusts, those kinds of movements, you know, and then just get a built upper body with a nice shape to the shoulders and arms. And you know, you get that hourglass figure, both from the big glutes, of course, but then not being too fat, so the waist is thin, and then having some shape, shoulders and lats, you know. So if a girl trains, lifts weight, and is lean, she's gonna, and if she does this well, she's gonna be super hot. Like, to me, the tomboys, the fitness girl kind of look, that's the most beautiful girl, absolutely. Timothy Fontaine, great push workout vid the other day. Staying inspired, got up this morning for a long bike ride. I'm glad you liked the video. Kazui, you must become a conscious egoist, Theo. Well, tell me what that means. Fireblade, hello Theo. Could you go on a little rant as to why you're not Christian? Love from Portugal. I could do that. Let me just see. The other, stop masturbating. I'm 20 years old, coach. Is it too late for me to get in shape? Absolutely not, man. I started when I was 25. I'm 31 now. Look what I looked like when I was 25. I looked like I did nothing because I didn't. I looked skinny fat, pale, you know, the soft face from all the bad habits and low T, you know. So you're ahead. You're way ahead of me. Stop masturbating. So no. And it's never too late. You see people are like 60 years old. You see them, they never lifted. And when you see them a few years later, you would have thought they've been lifting their entire life, but they haven't. So you're just in time, man. Get to work. Isabel Smith, hi from Australia. I really appreciate your health tips. Well, I appreciate you, Isabel. I'm glad the tips are helpful. Aid lifts, my man. Love your vids. I've been trying to cut for a bit now, but end up stopping when I notice strength loss. I'm pretty strong, 300 bench for 5 reps, 5'9", 17% body fat at 190. How do I beat the mental hurdle? Well, you just have to, man. It's like, embrace the long view of this is, guys, with everything I tell, because it's so interesting when you work with clients, because many clients I have will in one way or another be a bit similar to me, because that's why they picked me, because they recognize something of themselves in me, right? It often works like that. So many times when they struggle or they describe certain things to me, I'm kind of like, I remember when I thought like that. So he's on that level, you know, not in a looking down kind of sense. It's just that, you recognize someone is on the same path as you. They're like, he's in that place now. So look, the longer you do the cycles of bulking and cutting, and you realize that, hey, I looked better after each time I cut, and then I just went back to eating more, and I gained strength, and I got stronger than I was before, again, you know, and do it in both directions, you know. Eventually, you don't think so much about, do I lose a little bit of strength now? Because you embrace hard, you know exactly what the entire process needs to look like. So man, just realize that if you lose some strength, the bench is one of the most body weight dependent exercises. So it's not going to mean that you actually lost strength, like your muscles got weak or your nervous system got weaker. It's literally just from losing body weight and even losing some fat on the chest, because of course you have a little, it's literally shorter distance between yourself and the bar when there's a little bit more fat here and it's a little bit more bouncy, you know. So, you know, just learn to embrace the long view here. um yeah, hold on to as much as you can, cut to a level you are happy with, and then when you go back and eat more and start to lean bulk again, you will very quickly be back to where you were, and later on even further away beyond that, right? So yeah, man. Andreas Bach, how do you get hair like that? It's funny, you know, people give feedback. The blonde, that's just the genes. But people wonder about my hair many times. And what do you do for your hair? And I love to say that the answer is I do literally nothing. Okay, I I made a little saltwater spray just because I like the way, you know, when I was staying in Greece, I went swimming in the ocean all the time. I like what it does to the hair. But literally salt water from sweat or regular water, that's all that enters my hair. I don't use shampoo, no conditioner, no nothing. It's just eating a good diet, you know, lots of B vitamins, collagen, you know, sleeping well, exercising, getting sunlight. It's the things, all the same things. So I love it when people, now you didn't ask it that way, when people are like, what do you do for your hair? And I'm like, literally nothing. And I want to say, I've always had thick hair. It's in part genetic, absolutely. But my hair quality was just, it definitely was worse when I had poor habits, just the case. Auba Dio, thanks for giving me some motivation, man. Keep making videos, a little smiley. Well, I'm glad you like the videos and I will keep making them. Ben with an N. I'm from Finland. Hello, Ben. Radvan Siraj. At what age does a man's testosterone level drop? I heard that after 40, men lose 1 pound of muscle per year. Is this true? Like, stop listening to this. Like, why do you even care? Like, stop listening so much to what you're told. Just know that yes, it's a fact of life that we grow, things improve when we go from a little baby to an adult, and at some point the body will start to regress in some ways. But you're not completely doomed to this. Like I say often that chronology, just time passing by, it's just one of the factors that ages you. Lifestyle has a lot to do with it. So, and this is that a man loses 1 pound of muscle per year. Is this true? Well, if that man is some fucking moron and stops eating protein and doesn't train, like too many men do, you know, don't eat well and don't train, yes, you're going to lose some amount of muscle from that. But if you keep a good lifestyle, like maybe at some point when you're getting really, really old, it's like, okay, you can't hold on to what was your like complete maximum at your peak age, you know, but you're not going to just regress from nowhere if you just keep a good lifestyle. And so, like, don't care so much what people say and what you heard. It's also based on a sick population. All averages you will hear, well, testosterone and that, it will be based on the average population. Look at the average person. Do you want to be like that? And do you think that if you are not that average person, you do way more, you do all the things that are important, do you think the average statistics apply to you? Of course not. That's why when I tried my testosterone, tested it years ago now, it's probably higher now, but according to the Swedish reference range, I was too high, too high. But I just saw that, like the comment from the doctor was that I shouldn't worry about it too, and I don't. I was just happy to see that. That's more like, okay, I'm probably in a good place, you know, because I don't think mine was too high. I think the average is too low. You see what I'm saying? Tressner, bench press is weird, man. Some days I can't lift super heavy, then try the next session, I can't lift as much. Yeah, it's a little bit more of an irregular movement for me as well. Like, well, I was making progress quite consistently on my bench and incline bench on the bulk, but like a session here and there, I would just randomly lose a rep. Not quite know why. Jay, why do I store most fat in my hips when bulking? and have almost no fat on my face. Kind of looks a bit feminine. I mean, we just there's certain general things for the way we store fat. Like for men, like the belly will be a main area in general around their love handles and belly, and then it's a little bit individual. Where you tend to carry a bit more fat or that. But you're noticing these things more than other people too, and I mean, I don't know what you look like, so it's just like. But what I say with all of this is that if you just make yourself as good as possible overall, and you won't notice and care about your weaknesses so much. 50 people, that's nice for a spontaneous stream, guys. Like, if you haven't already, please send a super chat, show support for the channel and the content. The protein yogurt found. Idlift says, thanks a lot, man. Well, you're welcome. Presner, working out makes your body make more testosterone, especially when you work out heavy compounds. Yeah, that's the thing, guys. A lot of people think of it in the opposite way. Like, oh, I have low testosterone, so I can build muscle. I need to increase my testosterone so I can build a muscle. But in this life, everything exists in relationship. It's like the gut-brain axis. If you can actually get anxiety from eating something your gut doesn't agree with, but you can also, from getting anxiety from something other outside of you, but you have eaten well, you can get gut issues from that. So you see, it goes both ways. It's the same thing with a thing like muscle and testosterone. Like, yes, testosterone aids in building muscle, but using your muscle and pushing them to the limit, that boosts testosterone, you see. So many of the people that go on TRT because, oh, my testosterone is low, like, yeah, maybe because you have complete shit habits and you don't train and you don't eat well, you don't sleep well. Maybe try doing those things for like a year, test your testosterone then and see. Leku De Sousa, hey man, love your videos. Got into fitness a year ago and I feel a lot of things you say in your videos resonate with some of my experiences in general. Glad I found your channel. Cheers from Brazil. Well, I'm happy to hear that, man. I'm glad the content is helpful to you and you can resonate with some things. This is Dubi. I'm 49 and my testosterone went from old lady level to normal just by getting fit. You see, he could change it when he was 49. So, yeah. MD, at the end, and I'm happy for you, man. That's great. That's great that you didn't let like, oh no, I'm too old. It's too late. Get in the way. MD, at the end of your live chat, let's see what your muscle tone looks like while completely relaxed, like today. You want me to show off the physique? Well, maybe if you send a super chat, I'll do that. It's not OnlyFans. It's not the same thing. Gabriel Chambers, I'm 65 kilos at 5'8". How fast should I bulk? You should just eat enough to be gaining weight. Okay, like a kilo per month, and see your gym numbers go up, and that should be good enough. Jay is eating kvari at the moment. Well, enjoy. So I'll wait for you guys to talk a bit more in the chat. There was one thing here. Fireblade, could you go on a little rant as to why you're not Christian? From Portugal. And got a £2 super chat from Radvan Siraj. Appreciate it, man. No message, but thank you so much. Okay, so why I'm not Christian is I was always a hardcore atheist, all right? I was music starts. I love that. But I want to when I'm looking at it, I gotta block the chat, No. Not block you, block the chat. Yes, like that. No, so the music starts. I was very much a hardcore atheist when I grew up. It's Sweden, a very secular country. I feel like all the religion, when they taught us that, it sounded like this is not real. This is like pretend stuff some people believe in. But also, I think one thing with me being born with an autistic brother and having lots of difficulties for the entire family, but for him as well, that's something I suffered a lot from this in my childhood. And to me, like the whole argument with God, a good God, like, for a childish mind like mine at the time, it's like, it seems so unfair. My brother, he didn't do anything to become like that, and he is struggling now. He's just born that way. And us other people are struggling too, It seems really unfair. And so, yeah. And plus I had this like, overly rational atheist brain that I try to use the facts and logic trademark to figure out God, and I can't, you know. And I remember I was even a person that I would get triggered just by someone believing in God, and assume a lot of things, that just because you read in a book something, you believe in a fairy tale, ba 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 ba, you know. And then I went through this entire thing with the panic attacks. Long story short, you know, I started noticing something on the inside, you know. I just couldn't quite put the finger on it, but there was like a presence I had never noticed before. And what I think it is that, you know, it started feeling nostalgic, like I was a kid before all these tough things happened. And then I just started realizing that I think this is God, you know. I think this is what God is. And it's like, oh, I had it all wrong, you know. I thought it was something outside of me, you know, like this with Jesus and the kind of big man in the sky thinking, you know. And then I listened to Jesse Lee Peterson. So that is a Christian YouTuber. And I love Jesse still, by the way. And I had heard him a little bit before, but what he said didn't make sense to me back then. But now, so many things he was saying was making sense, and he's Christian. And the thing for me, since I found God on the inside, and Jesse is also quite unusual Christian, he's not your typical Christian, but finding God on the inside like that, it was just kind of apparent to me, like, okay, I see it now. All these religions, they're really trying to guide us here to God. That's a real thing. And so it will just, like, honestly, how do you justify just picking like, oh, I think this religion is right, you know? Like, what about the people that were born somewhere far away from your right religion, you know? Like, are they just doomed to be screwed then? Like, to me, it doesn't make sense. And the way I had to see it, and it's no offense to any Christian or any follower of any other religion, but from my view, it's kind of an immature spirituality to be like a devout follower of a religion, you know, because it's about God, really. And the way I see it, the religions are ways to try to give people that haven't really quite found God some access to spirituality. And I compared this on a stream recently to within Hinduism, they have these different gods that people pray to, but the more enlightened Hinduists, they know that these gods are not really a thing. They are just kind of something for people to channel their belief in. And those who are less conscious can still practice some kind of spirituality. So why I'm not a Christian is because I don't think any of the religions are right. I think they are all different paths to the same thing, that is God. Leslie de Souza has become a supporter of the channel, a member. I appreciate that, man. Welcome. Treasure, brown chicken, brown cow. I don't know yeah. The Treasure, it's kind of weird that so many people believe in a make-believe story. Like it's legit mass psychosis. And MD says, you don't need a religion to believe in a creator. Exactly. But that's a funny thing that some atheists will do. When I talk about God and stuff, they will say, some guy commented that this is one of those I was talking about earlier, that he is talking as if he is the kind of guru here, you know, not that I would refer to myself as a guru, you know, but I got an input on some video that, yes, you're smart about this and smart about this, but you don't need religion, blah, blah. It's blah, blah. So you haven't come so far with that yet, or something. It's like, you're not understanding anything, bro. I'm not religious. Just because I mentioned God, is that how low understanding you have for these things? You know? My crypto journey. I'm gonna mug you soon. Kidding. Cheers, coach. Love the program. I'm making insane progress. I'm happy to hear that, Rodney. Rodney is a new client. If you recall, a guy that sent a big super chat, and I told him that, man, if you have this dough, let's just do coaching, and it's going well. So thanks for super chat, man. I'm glad you're enjoying the program. Randy NLN, $10 without any message. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Kind of feel a little bad when you don't have a message. I can't give any special attention to it. But Randy, is it Randy that's been along for quite a long time? I don't, but it was a Randy that sent some super chats on older live streams. So if it's you, I'm glad to see you're still around, man. Jay, Do you have to lift more weight slash reps to get bigger, or does it just speed up muscle growth? Can you lift the same weight and stay on the same rep ranges and still grow bigger over time? Might be a dumb question. It is. But I see way too many people lift the same all the time at my gym. Yeah, and they stay the same too, right? They lift the same and they stay the same. This is why I feel sometimes like I'm repeating myself so much over and over and over, you know, and not just for you, Jay, but this is why some things, why you will guy like me that feel like I know exactly what this is all about. I just want you guys to get it. I want you to understand what you need to understand so you can go out and make the progress that you want to make. And so I feel like everyone intuitively understands that I have to progress. I have to challenge myself more. Still, what I see is practically people fail to do that. But so a point I used to make this that I've done before in one gym here. One of the posters that sits up there says, maybe today is the day when you manage to use more weight. And I get like so mad when I see it because like that's why that's what you're supposed to do here. Lift more weight or do more reps. That should be the majority of your workouts. Even when you're really advanced, lifting more weight, doing more reps, doing more, actively progressing, that's what you should be doing. I enter the gym. There is one exercise, this pull down. That's the first exercise in my pull video I put out. This is what it's looked like for the like, is it 2.5 months I've been doing that or something. First time, put on 80 kilos on a machine, 3 sets, 12, 11, 10 reps. No, 10, 9, 8 reps. Next time, 11, 10, 9 reps. Next time, 12, 11, 10 reps. So I go up to 85 kilos, start over. 10, 9, 8 reps. Next workout, 11, 10, 9. You know, I always come in and I did this yesterday, not yesterday, but last workout. I need to beat it now. Like, why? Think of it logically a little bit. If like when you're a complete beginner, you haven't used your, like complete beginner, you haven't used your muscles for anything heavy in a long time. Of course, just randomly doing some things will make you improve. But quite soon, your body's just going to be like, okay, we moved a bit. Nah, I didn't get challenged enough to feel like there's any need to do an adaptation here. Use precious energy to invest into building new mass. You have to really tell your body that this is something you need to do. You need to send a signal to your body. You need to adapt, you know. So if you just do the same thing over and over, how would you ever improve? The fasting guys, lol, Tressner says. Yeah. Randy Allen. Yes, same Randy. Well, that's good to see you, man. You have a question here. I do have a question. What back exercises would you do if somebody hit both your hands with a hammer? This is what doing rows with arthritis feel like lately. Oh, man, interesting. So this is also, guys, I'm a fucking genius in the gym, okay? Let me tell you a brief story first before I'm gonna answer you, Randy. But I have an autistic gym client, a girl, and you know I become a little not personal assistant, but the point I'm not going to be able to make her make so much training progress. You know, it's more like exercising, and it's more like she enjoys coming there and doing this all with me. And she has her strange ideas. Like one thing is that she wants to train digitally, as she calls it. So she wants to hold her phone at all times. Because of course she does that on the treadmill for the like step count, you know. But she wants to do that when we go into the gym too. So I've had to figure out a way to train when she can still hold her phone. So many unilateral exercises, you know, stuff like this. But okay, Randy, I have done not for arthritis. I haven't done or I haven't had that much pain, right? But I have been having like things that have restricted what I can do. So what I want to come to, if you can get these, I love them for other purposes too, but these wrist cuffs, these attachments that you can take to a cable, you're going to be able to do a bunch of pulling exercises without even grabbing something. It's my favorite way to do like pull over on a cable machine, taking 2 cuffs to a cable and pull like that. But you can, for instance, let's say, you know, I have a high cable. I use one hand for support. I have a high cable here. Have that wrist attachment to the cable. Now I'm going to be able to pull because instead of me gripping the cable, it's this thing around here. So I would experiment with that kind of attachment, and probably cables are going to be your friend in this. So if you try that, get back to me, let me know how it went. Fireblade. Although I was never an atheist, I used to think like you, but when you look into the religions are quite different. Also to me, keeping the religion of my ancestors is a way to revere them. Look, my only issue with this, with religion versus just a belief in God and that, is that it's the community factor. You know, it does serve a purpose. If you have a good church with a good leader of the church, you know, a good priest, and the community aspect there, like-minded people, you know, virtuous people, and that's going to be a good thing. Of course, the religions can be different, but I'm just like, I'm having a hard time even articulating it, you know, because it's just so obvious from my stance, you know, that, yeah, but all of the religions are still man-made, though. Even if Jesus is real, you know, the actual religion and that's something made by people, and it's an attempt at pinning down or getting you to something that is beyond what a human can even describe, you know. So, like, if, you know, I wouldn't say to a Christian that it's wrong to be Christian, you know. It's just that actually having the belief that, yeah, my religion is the true one, I have to look at that as being a bit immature. Just saying. Um, Archuk, Tressner, brown chicken, brown cow is like prawn song for when you take off your shirt. Are you trying to do that? Brown chicken, brown cow. Is it? I thought you did that like brown chicken, wow, wow thing, you know. Archuk and Canto, but what is God? Yeah, I mean, God is like the last final common denominator. Is that what you say? It's the source, you know. It is the thing that binds all together. It is everything, you know. It is in everything. Um, yeah. No, that's my entire thing with the God and religion stuff. Like, it's one thing now we're discussing it a little bit here, you know. But for instance, like debating the existence of God, or trying to convince someone that God exists, is just a waste of time, in my opinion, because it's like these religions again, and even not just religions, even like a guy like me or anyone else you follow, you know, can like point in certain directions, like go looking here, but it's something you're going to have to find on your own in the end. So even a thing like describing what God is, I mean, you can get better at it, but I find it difficult to even try. Kressner, newbie gains is a real thing, lol. Yeah, for sure. Lesio de Sousa, the new member. How's have your injuries been for you, man? Since we are on the subject of progressing weights, sometimes I feel I go a little over and injure myself, then I deload the next week to recover. Um, well, I mean, I've injured myself many times throughout these years, and sometimes you have to back off something completely. Like rarely the entire muscle, but the exercise. But often you can find a way to work around it, you know. So I would say generally my injuries have not impeded my gains much, except the legs. Like I'm still quite strong in my legs, but I definitely just would be stronger if during my bulk now, for instance, if I could have just. I mean, I did smash squat. I did make some good leg progress, but because of not having recovered, I healed the injury fully, I made it worse, and I had to back off again. So I'm doing well overall, but it's the legs that has taken the biggest toll from injuries. J. Is it true that you can build muscle at any rep range? Not any rep range, but within a wide rep range. Like 5 to 30 reps or so, then I still wouldn't recommend going up to 30 most of the time. But you know, it's about, look, strength and muscle are related, but the more advanced you get, the more you can focus on more on one thing. So, you know, if you, for instance, got built a lot of muscle training in really high rep ranges, maybe you wouldn't be as strong as you could be. Um, but if we're just talking about what's possible here, yeah, I mean, if you train close enough to failure and you use progressive overload, you could bench sets of 5 or sets of like 12 to 15 reps and make progress, definitely. And I will sometimes on some exercises, I will change the rep range every now and then, you know. I'm thinking of doing benching at slightly higher reps, for instance, because I've been in like 5 to 10 rep range. Maybe just try, see what happens. You know, be curious, guys. Like, of course, ask me things, but I'm also like, go find the answers for yourself too, because in the end, that's how you find the answers. Randy L. NLN. Will do. Appreciate it. Yeah, nice, man. I hope it goes well. Real names not given. Have a good stream. I'm going to dig a ditch. Well, good luck with that. That's a nice activity. And Tressner says that sucks, but it's a good activity. You should be happy to have a physical task. Have a little too little of that going on in the modern world. Gabriel Chambers, chalky milk for Monster Kids. Why? I mean, if you eat a little bit of chocolate milk, why not? You know, I'm not a complete, even though I eat very clean, I'm not a complete Puritan. If you have a little bit of chocolate milk on top of a otherwise healthy diet when you're bulking, why not? Devlin, do you like cheeseburger? Cheeseburgers are all right. I had cheeseburgers yesterday, actually. I was with my, it's kind of like my brother-in-law, like my cousin, but she's quite close to me, and it's her husband that's also been my friend. So I call him Ish, my brother-in-law. But I helped him take care of their kids when she was away yesterday, and we ate cheeseburgers. So, yes. Why? Nature attests to God. Yep, totally agree. How are you? 177 centimeters. It's something to get used to. I understand why it's interesting for some people watching, but it's one I answer several times daily at the moment. Fireblade, what are your thoughts on the great replacement, miscegenation, and the J question? That's funny. It's always it's like these are things that I would prefer to not have to talk so much about, you know, because it not out of fear, you know, but it's like, yeah, I know I'm keeping it quite wide here, but I would like to, if I can talk about society and people and stuff, but not get so freaking political, you know. I would prefer that. Just not draw that kind of attention. Not since more on the, I'm more on the self-development. You, us guys, self-development stuff, and we can comment a bit on society and that. You know, you just want to be labeled a certain way. But you know, the great replacement. I guess you mean, you know, this that the immigration and the native populations become a minority in their own countries. I mean, it is a trend that's going on, right? It's just factual. I don't know how much of a like active again agenda or something like that there is. Um, but it's also I'm less worried about it because while of course I'm against the like huge mass immigration, I also don't identify with my race so much, you know. I identify with good moral people, you know, man, woman, black or white, etc., you know. So I don't know. I don't know, man. What is miscegenation? Gotta look that word up. Oh, come on. My search engine is so buggy. It's a marriage or admixture between people who are members of different races. Yeah, I mean, my thing, what I think is that, you know, the mainstream trend is like, oh, diversity, diversity, some kind of extreme forced diversity, you know. At the same time, that so-called diversity, just mixing everything, will of course lead to no diversity in the end. At the same time, I also don't think it's right to be like a complete like racial Puritan at all, you know. I've always felt it's a little strange to be drawn to someone that looks completely different to you. But I think as with everything, there's a balance here. You want, if we think just from a perspective of genes, I think you probably want someone that's similar enough to you, but have some differences that are introduced to you. Like, the girl I love, that, it's a little bit of a past situation, but she's half German and half Greek. And I think that's great. Um, yeah. The J question, I'm aware about. There was one guy that always showed up in my chats and talked about our friends with the small hats. Like, I'm not all into that stuff, and I think the guys that just want to blame the Jews for everything, it's kind of silly. What I'll say is that there are different groups of people that have some group patterns and stuff, and you should be aware of those things. But in the end, the enemy in this world is not a race. It's not it's a clique of people. So now I gave some thoughts on your things there, but like I say, these are things I prefer to not venture too deep into, because it's just not what this channel is about, and it's so easy to get labeled as something, well, that you aren't, but also, you know what I mean, get banned and shit. Gwek 2102. It is what it is, Theo. I agree that it is hard to describe. In the end, when we honor our higher nature, we honor what we were God-given. This is a spiritual fitness in a healthy body. Yes. Tressner, chalky milk and chicken nuggets. Remove the chicken nuggets. That's like the worst. Like, probably the worst part of the chicken, just grind it down into some paste and then deep fried in these horrible seed oils. It's like, ugh. Calcerian, do you have any role models? Honestly, no. No. Like, there are people I look up to, that I've taken inspiration from, but my role model, I think, is like God, or like the ideal version of me. I have an ideal I look up to, but it's not one certain person. Well, if I say something, my friend Andreas at Optiholm on Instagram, in some ways I could say, because he's like someone I know also in real life, like that, sort of a role model. Like, there are things I'm better at than him too, but he is into it's very much a physique and philosophy kind of guy. He's just been into the same things for a longer time, so he has more experience than me with some things. So I don't know that he's a role model, but it's someone I do look up to and will listen. Even if he tells me something and I initially don't think I agree, I will still consider it a lot, because I see that he's a very capable, very good man. But generally, no. It's more like I have an ideal that I try to strive for, which isn't based on a person like that. Radvan Siraj, great content, bro. Do you believe that a personal trainer should have a certain standard of strength/leanness? I'd love to be a coach at some point, but I feel I need to be at my physical best. So, man, it's a good question, because of course, as any kind of teacher or coach, like a personal trainer is, you should lead by example. And I always think it's ridiculous how many personal trainers are not really in that good shape. Even more ridiculous that anyone would hire them. But you don't come, the one you might go to, there's like a fat personal trainer, and it's like, why do you go to someone that's like, it's literally in your face that he's failing and he's supposed to help you with. But what I want to get at is that when I started personal training, I had been training myself for like a little under 2 years, a little bit more than 1.5 years, but a little under 2 years. And I was fit, but I was much smaller than now. When I had abs, I had my, muscle on the entire frame, just smaller. And so I think if you are fit and you're still moving somewhere, you're like good enough. So it's the kind of thing you should lead by example, but it's not, you should never feel that I have to be like done. I have to be like there already. Because look, if I teach you something today, you can teach that to someone tomorrow, even if you're not as good as me at everything I do, right? So yeah, man, just keep improving your fitness and go for it if you want to be personal trainer. Miguel, hey Theo, thank you for everything you do. You've been a source of great pleasure and guidance to me recently. Well, I'm happy to hear that, man. I was in a casual relationship for the first time recently. I know now the truth about casual sex and that it's not good. And she did something that hurts me a bit. Even though I'm still hurt by what she did, it makes me sad that if she keeps having casual sex with people, she's going to be miserable. Should I try to explain this to her honestly or keep to myself? You know, she hurt you, and it's like, I don't know what she did, like this is one thing when it comes to relationship stuff, guys. And I know it's like because I've had to be a little bit vague about some things talking about my relationship. But it's like details matter. I remember one client I had that he tried to give such general examples of things like, what do you do when your woman blah blah blah? And it's like, kind of just tell me what happened, bro. And we can. It's like lots of nuance here when we're talking about people. But she hurt you somehow. Still, you're worried for her. I mean, if you want to just say something to her about that once, like go for it, but it's probably not going to help. Um, and to be honest, bro, I mean, you could go on about this if you want to, like in the chat, but to be honest, you should probably just let her go, let her find out on her own. Devlin, I am 177 centimeters as well, trying to get in shape as well. Does it help with the trying to gather my shit? I'm more disciplined now, making some money and getting in shape. What kind of idea you got? You're asking if it's helping with women. What kind of idea you got? Like, what do you want me to say to that? Like, yes, it helps. Like, of course it helps, but like been kind of a theme in my videos about women here is that if you do it like if you what you're doing is coming from a place of trying to be like worthy for a woman, you're gonna send out signals of unworthiness, and you're gonna repel what you want to attract, really. So it's not that we should deny. If you want a girl, it's not that you should deny yourself that, but try to not focus on, oh, will this that I do like you can't center trying to get in shape with whether it will help with a woman or not. Like, you do this for you out of values. What do you think a man should be? Should he just be a lazy slob that doesn't exercise and eats whatever he wants? Or should he be putting in the work to be a strong, fit version of himself so that he has better energy, he's literally stronger, he has better confidence, everything about him will be better, and he will be setting a good example for the people in his life. Like, you see what I mean? You should find it in you that this is why you're doing it. And yeah, if you become more fit and you feel better about yourself as a consequence of that, and that, of course, you're going to be more attractive to women. Of course. But what I'm saying is the physique doesn't change. If you just change the physique without changing the desperate person on the inside, it won't help. Like, barely. Anas Jalul. What is optimal fat intake for high testosterone? Also saturated fat versus monosaturated fat for testosterone. So look, this is not what I specialize in. Like nutrition, I will have the when we're talking about what's healthy and stuff, I will have like the basic stuff pinned down, and then I will, then I'm more of a like coach. Like, how do we manage to create and follow a good diet that like keeps us healthy enough, but also helps us reach our goals, whether that's putting on muscle or cutting fat. So this kind of question is a little bit too specialized for me. But just from what I can recall in my backbone, I feel like the saturated fats have gotten too much shit, and they are the most important ones. We want some of the poly and mono unsaturated fat, but optimal fat intake for testosterone, it's pretty much just don't go low. Don't go low fat. Like, kind of moderate fat, I'd say. Like, if your calories are like a third, a third of your calories are from fat, that's gonna be good. Play Z Gamer. Hey, cheers, man. Just wanted to thank you for existing and helping us. I love listening to you. It really helps me straight. I appreciate that, man. Straightening out my thinking, you say. Well, I appreciate that a lot, man. It's so beautiful to get these kinds of comments. That's like, thank you for existing and helping us. That really warms my heart, you know. I am blessed to be in the position I am in, you know. So thank you guys for existing. So I get to help. It helps me a lot to get to help you too. Devlin, does height play a role? Like, man, like what plays a role is how much you worry about what plays a role, you know. Do women like muscle? Does height matter? Oh, I'm trying to work. I'm trying to be worthy for a woman. Will they like that? You know, like, do you hear how insecure your entire energy is, you know? Like, go watch my videos with the title woman or women with the word woman or women in the title, but it's like, as long as you're coming from this place, you might attract some other insecure girls, you know, because insecure people, they are drawn to each other, you know. But man, height, do you think that like the most like savage Chad guy, that's just a good fucking man, you know? Like you know, fit, serious about his work and working on himself and the good values, confident, relaxed, good, safe, masculine presence, and he happens to be a little shorter than average. Do you think that any like actual good woman would reject him for that? Or would it be some like dumb insecure girl that had just decided that no, I need a 6 foot man, I need blah, 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 blah. You know, none of these shallow surface level things will matter to the right person, I promise. um Dry chicken equals best chicken. I don't eat much chicken. Fireblade, thank you for your answers. I understand why you want to avoid them. Changing topic. What do you think about the impending global population collapse? To be honest, I don't. You know, I haven't even thought about it much, man. Because it's like once upon a time, these kinds of topics that you asked about before and stuff, they completely overtook me. It was all I was thinking about, you know. I would spend so much of my time on Twitter, all these different websites, and just like you know, you're almost addicted to being angry, being afraid, being outraged on certain things, you know. And I'm not saying, of course, we should care about some things going on in society, but it's like kind of I'm trying to affect society on my level where I have some kind of influence. And what happens on a bigger level, I don't have much influence over anyway. And so I don't even think so much about it, you know. So honestly, I think the world, it will always balance itself out in some way. Either way, when something goes too far in one direction, there's some kind of crash, and some kind of new balance has to be reached. And I'm just not so worried about what that looks like because it's out of my hands anyway, you know. Deblen, thank you so much, man. Danke. Well, bitte schön, mein Freund. Kalle Serén. Just eat a lot of eggs. Eggs. The cholesterol is vital for high T. Also, sleep and heavy training. Just look at the T levels in people using statins for high cholesterol down the cellar. Yeah. Eating eggs. Eggs is like one of the best testosterone foods for sure. And it's not like, I mean, the vitamin A and the cholesterol for sure, but it's like, it's one of those things that eggs are one of those things that have stood the test of time. You know, look at many of these old school bodybuilders. You know, there's what is that guy called that ate like 36 eggs per day? Was it Vince Gironda? No, very good food. Lesio de Sousa, our new member. The thing you said about woman and not doing it for yourself is kind of what I meant with resonating with what you say in your videos. I feel that if you do something thinking about the reward only, you're setting yourself up for frustration, because if you don't get what you think you deserve, you'll feel enraged at the world and it's kind of wasting energy. Yes, I'm starting to see some gains myself, and I feel the journey has been its own reward in a way. Yeah, well, exactly, man. Good for you that you found that so early on, because you say I'm starting to see some gains. So I mean, it sounds like you haven't trained for that long, but exactly, man. I always say that when you're far enough away from the result you'd like, it's almost impossible to not think a little bit like, when will I get it? How fast and when? But the closer you get to it and you're just on the path, the work is the reward. Like, of course, when we talk about training, of course, I want to get stronger. Of course, I want to improve my physique. But what I love is going to the gym and beating what I did last time. I love it, you know. The work is the reward. And the beautiful thing is when that's the funny thing, there's so many universal laws like this. When you let go of the outcome, let go of what's way in the distance over there and what's going on right here, right now, and focus on that, all of a sudden you're going to look up and, I'm by the destination now. Like getting the result. The best way to get the result is to let go of the result and embrace doing what you need to do every day. Devlin, not insecurities, just curiosity at this point, to be honest. Thank you so much, bro, for the feedback. All right, but it's like, there are degrees to being insecure. And look, I had insecurities too. Like none of them are visible right now in this situation right here. But of course, we all have. Do you know a difference between secure and insecure people? That secure people own their insecurities. And instantly when because it's an insecure behavior to have an insecurity and try to hide it, pretend as if it doesn't exist, right? Like, I'm not saying that you're doing this right now, but you triggered me to make a point here. But even like, let me tell you this. When I was more insecure about women, I felt like I was too short for women. In Sweden, people are quite tall. The average for men is like 181 centimeters. So I'm a little bit below average height, right? And I thought about that. Oh, if I was taller, Now, my height is not something I have, and whether women like it is not something I have thought about in years, Yeah. Gabriel Chambers, do you understand spoken Norwegian and Danish as a Swede? Well, Norwegian easier than Danish, but it depends on the accent too. I remember meeting a Norwegian couple in California, and I could understand the wife really well. I couldn't grasp a word the man was saying. So it's easier in reading to understand. But me, like a Norwegian person and a Danish person, we would find a way to understand each other eventually, but it's not like automatically like that, I think there are some languages are quite similar, Italian, Spanish, like German, Dutch, Swedish, Norwegian. The Danish, they learn to speak later because they have all this like going on in their language. Danny. I'm swapping to morning gym before work, but I'm worried about having too full stomach from the breakfast for compound lifts. Any advice to you? Don't eat so much before you train then. It's like, just eat, try training fasted even, or just eat less, eat more right after your workout. Jay, how big are your biceps? Boom. Like I've been cutting a bit, so I'm sure I've lost a little bit of fat around the arm. But I was asked before a stream, before the channel kind of blew up. But so when I was at 87 kilos, which is not super bulked up, but still my arms are leaner now. But it was 16.3 inches I translated it to. It was 41.5 centimeters. So maybe it's like 41 centimeters, 16 inches now. Ruslan Sinisin. Hi, just want to say you're a huge inspiration for me. Well, I appreciate that, man. Randy NLN. I googled the centimeters. 5'9" feet. You mean me? Well, we've discussed this on the stream before. It depends on, my height. We round up to 5'10". That's what we concluded. It's kind of funny because I said I don't really care about my height, but of course, if I can round it up, of course I'll do that. Jay, I'm Swedish. I'm 5'6". Never felt insecure about it because I don't feel short. No, exactly. Like, if you are short and you feel like you're too short, you're gonna send out I'm a short little person energy. While if you just are physically short, but you feel good about yourself and you have like strong, confident energy, no one is going to look at you other than like literally your height from the floor is a certain height, but they're not going to look at you as a little short person. So yeah, as a shirt, you're a manlet, Jay. And he just agrees that, yeah, I'm a manlet. Mice are 17 inches now, bulked at 18% body fat. All right. Yeah, biceps is like one of my weakest muscles, in my opinion. No, not you. Average height in my country, but that's more than 5'9". 181 centimeters is more than 5'9". It must be in feet. I don't get this. Do you have two like different scales with this? Because there's one that's like slightly off. Yeah, because here's the one other. It says that it's 5 feet 11.26 inches. So yeah, you and your strange not metric system. Ruslan Sinisin was simping for girls all the time. Tried to do everything for them. They broke up with me anyway. And once I changed focus into myself, things have shifted in much better way. Self-development is key. I'm glad to hear that, man. You're definitely on a good path. Gwek 2102, Dwarf Energy. Gabriel Chambers. I was 5'6" at 18, then started drinking 2 liters of milk a day, and now I'm 5'8". Well, that's incredible if that happened. So, not gonna lie, the D size is also a hard pill to swallow. No pun intended. It is what it is. There are more important stuff. Yeah, that's something, even more than my height. That was something I was obsessing about. Not even, I don't have a small dick, but that you want to be way above average, because for some reason this should be important, And that's also a thing for me now. Like, I would understand if you have like a ridiculously small dick, like I understand that you struggle with that, but really, even being a bit below average and stuff, like, what the fuck? This it's just a little. It's not. It doesn't have to do with you being a man, I promise you, if you're a real man in every sense of the word, like your girl won't care about that for sure. So yeah, but yeah, that was I was. It's funny because again, I had no reason to be insecure. I just felt like maybe girls want a really big one. Okay, Miguel. She was from Erasmus. We saw each other for about 4 months. I made sure I brought the best of myself every time when we met and that she was having a great time. She met my friends, family, etc. But when the sex wasn't good enough for her anymore, she instantly lost interest and fucked someone else without letting me know first. Still hurts a bit, but I knew she wasn't right for me and she was low quality. Hate that term. So the pain is not too bad. So maybe I could try to help her get on the right path. I don't know. Well, look, man, if you like feel strongly that you'd like to say something about it, but you see how she acted, she's not gonna listen, right? Like what will happen if you tell her is that she's gonna remember that when she realizes later in life. But yeah, of course, the sex wasn't good. And it's like, wow, like no, it's just not a girl for you. Is what I can tell you. Sure. How big is your puboxygeus muscle? Is the PC muscle how you can contract there that both men and women have? Yeah, it's a little bit hard to measure the size, right? Bjorn Arnolds. I am short. Haven't been called short in at least 10 years. I had a bad period where I was nervous and anxious, and guess what? A coworker made a comment about me being short. Yeah. Randy NLN. I have to drop. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great day, Randy. Thanks for the super chat, and I hope it works out with wrist cuff attachment for training the back. Andrew Mueller. Good channel, bro. From Andrew from America. Well, thanks, Andrew. Gwek 2102. It's not the size of the boat. It's the motion of the ocean. Yeah. The motion of the ocean. Yeah, but also, guys, that's one thing I want to say. The girl I love, of course, I'm still a Volcel. We haven't had sex like that because then it would have to be a more stable situation. But, we've done things, all right? And what I'll say is that when the connection is real, it's not like you have to try to please a woman. Like it's like you just know each other. Like the first time me and my girl kissed and stuff, it was the most amazing kiss. Super romantic too, but also it's like it felt like we had done it 1,000 times, because the connection and romance was real, right? So that's another thing about, oh, don't get the physique to, because this has been, I had huge insecurities about I want to be able to please a woman. I had to learn these techniques on how to do it. But the thing is, when you just love a woman and you want to give her love, you're going to please her. You're not gonna have to try, right? So, I don't know if anyone asked yet, but how are you feeling actually? How are you doing? Well, I appreciate that you actually want to ask how I'm doing. No, I'm doing really well overall. It's been with my girl, that situation. I was a little like bothered by some turns of events I wasn't quite prepared for, and it was gnawing away at me a little bit. At the same time, I found myself in such a good place in life in general, and that is kind of like I'm so clear with that now. So I'm not feeling bad from any of that right now. The worst thing I ever because I have a lot of good stuff going on, with work. I make videos, I streams with you guys, I get new clients, I work with clients in person and online. And I do some social activities, some friends, some family. The worst thing I experience right now is this little emptiness when you don't quite know what to do with yourself. And it's like, what do I do now? But it's not worse than that. So actually, I'm doing quite well at the moment. Could always have a worse day or something, but generally, I'm really loving life right now. Thinking back to where I was a year ago, because I had a very difficult year last year, I can also be very grateful that, wow, that's what I think too, even if I got a little bored or something. Like, well, just being a little bored is much better than wanting to just die. So thanks for asking. So Miguel, thank you, Theo. I wish you the best. A little heart. Well, heart right back at you, Miguel. I wish you the best too. Andrew Mueller, do you grow out your beard ever? In my opinion, beards are good for confidence. No, I don't attach my confidence to my looks. I look a certain way because I'm confident. You understand? That's the direction I think in all the time. So my beard is so poor. It looks the best at this like short length. Like, because if I grow it out, I'm just gonna look like balls with pubic hair on it. So I not that I care much, but I could wish I had better beard, but I don't really care about it. But that's why I don't grow it out so long ever, because it just won't look good. I don't think so, at least. um yeah, a little response or something. Anas Jalul, do you think an omega-3 supplement is necessary if not consuming fish? No, I mean, not really. Like, nah. I've gone periods without eating any fish and not no omega-3. It's not that I can notice anything. Sometimes with all these nutritional things, we so many things we get told that we need and stuff. But if you find a good omega-3 supplement, why not take it? Or why not eat any fish? But it's not gonna matter a lot, I don't think. Adamaeus, great channel, Theo. Lots of great advice for young guys about life and training and such. Keep up the hard work. Thanks, I appreciate that. I will keep up the work. Make Fox sound great again. Do you have a neck day? I swear by neck days. I have two. I've had two per week for almost a year now. And right now, when I've been cutting and changing my training a bit, I'm not quite as serious with the neck training, but I've been making some progress even when I've been thinking of it like that. But I've had two neck days. And it's more like, because my root program, I can make you a video about the program someday, but I like push-pull legs. I also like upper-lower. And I had a hard time deciding. So I let these two make love. And they gave birth to my split. That's an upper-lower push-pull leg split. So there are 5 workouts in a week. So we start from Monday now. It's upper-lower, rest, push-pull legs, rest, and restart. And so, of course, the rest day, especially if you're like me, work with it and stuff, it doesn't have to be a complete rest day. So I've been training calves and neck on these days, because it's no compounds, right? And so now I think I've started already reducing the calf volume and just put calves at the end of leg workouts. The neck, it's so accessible to me in the gym in my building. So I can, on a day instead of completely resting, I can just go there, take my like 20 minutes to train the neck. So, are you active on Insta? Only watch YouTube videos so far. Yeah, guys, you should all watch my Instagram. I understand not all of you have Instagram, but I post on my story every day. I share some of my training on my story every day, usually with some commentary. Sometimes I share all kinds of things, but it's mainly the story on Instagram. I will do some posts, but and honestly, it's not that I even get so much from my stories. Like if we're talking work-wise, it's really for you guys, like a closer look at the things I do. And I think my story is often like it goes from periods and different days, but I think it's often quite interesting stuff. So yeah, at Uncommon Sense Fitness. Nice guys, 49 likes and 48, no, no, 49 people and 48 likes. If you haven't liked, please like. You can send a super chat. We've gone for 1 hour 50 minutes. I mean, I have some more time, so as long as there's good chatting going on, I'll stick around, guys. Make folks hungry again. Well, Nick and traps, Tressner. Well, my traps, I train them almost every day in one way or another, like not shrugs, but that's what I've been talking about. One reason I have very good trap development is that I get so much indirect trap volume, and therefore when I train neck, I just train the neck. Garrett Baker says, "Hey coach, hope you're doing well." Thanks, Garrett. I hope you are as well. Russ's shirt. Mankind in the past who lived nowhere near the sea and never consumed any fish survived to tell the tale. However, if you're a grown-ass man, you need to man up and eat some fish every now and then. I can agree with that. So, by the way, when I asked about ways of making money without showing your face, I was asking if you had to choose a method of making money online, besides being a social media persona that includes doing PT. But I haven't thought about it, man, because I'm not interested in that. So I don't really have an answer to that. You see, I haven't thought of, how could I make money online without showing my face? It's not something I've thought about whatsoever. Because I started this channel not even thinking about making any money at all. It was just like, I think I found something good here, and I'm so happy with the change I've done in my life. I just want to share it. And then the first kind of coaching clients I got was never from me asking. It was them asking me about it. So do you see what I mean? I've never even considered any other online business, but I guess some selling some product online, advertising it well, smart, selling it at a good profit with a good profit margin. I don't know. Bless you, De Sousa. Have a good stream and thanks for the chats. Dropping out for lunch. We'll be following your stuff with enthusiasm. Well, have a good lunch, Lesio. Thanks for becoming a member and supporting the channel. And yeah, stick around. Tressner, okay, I thought that was strange one day just for neck claw. Yeah, look, if I had a guy on like 3 workouts per week or something, of course, we just superset in the neck stuff with the other stuff. For me, it's just that, it works out well. It's kind of nice. I don't like to have complete rest days anyway, so I'm just kind of happy that I have at least something to do on those days. So, followed, sir, on Instagram. Yeah, well, welcome. Today, there's going to be a little bit of leg workout stuff there, and I was swinging my mace, put out the clip. My recent level up to doing the mace movement has been finding a consistent way of breathing throughout the movement, actually. Ruslan Sinisin, do you care about your testosterone level? Did you check it? Was it low before you started training? Look, I didn't check it before I started training, but I know it was low from, symptoms of me, but also just my lifestyle. It's quite clear that it was definitely low. Like if I had to guess from what I know about numbers, I'm sure I was at like 200-300 nanograms per deciliter back then. I'm hope to keep up, mate. Love from Portugal. Success. Well, nice to see you here today, man. Take care in Portugal. I'll see you later. But so, yeah, my testosterone was definitely low before I started. The only time I tested it, which almost 3 years ago now, it was 896 nanograms per deciliter, which is quite high. And I'm sure that it's just higher now. because I've just improved on everything I've done since then. If I care about it, like, you know, of course it's important to have high testosterone, but to me, I don't care much about it. You know what? Seeing that high number, the only thing to me is like, yeah, I know the guys that are all into this with testosterone optimization. They will be really impressed when I tell them that, hey guys, 1,000 nanograms per deciliter. But you know, me, as long as I feel good, I'm making the training progress I want. I feel the way I want. Then the exact number, if I went to test it now and it was lower, I would be surprised, but I would just be like, well, I don't care because I'm feeling great and everything I want to be able to, the progress I want to make, I can do with training. So, but guys, I would, for your entertainment, I could test my testosterone again, but those tests are a little bit expensive, guys. So, gotta show the support with a super chat. But definitely, it's something I've been thinking about lately because people ask, so I can just test it. I mean, when you just test the testosterone, though, you can find somewhat cheap tests for that. It's like when you do these bigger tests, they are a little pricier. Keen Custom Garage, thank you for your wisdom, Theo. You have really been helpful to me in this stage in my life. Well, I appreciate that. I love it so much, guys, that I've been following people on YouTube for years. You know, that's been my person like that, and getting that kind of feedback. It's like beautiful. So thanks a lot, Keen Custom Garage. Make folks sound great again. How often do you have a rest day, and what is the most consecutive days you've been in the gym? Ooh, I almost never have a complete rest day, you know, because I have a philosophy that goes no rest days, just less days. And it means that you don't have to completely rest. You can just do less. But it's not the point though. Rest is important. But it's like if you rest, you are resting literally, of course, but it's like it's part of the process, right? But look, except for these fasts I've done now, apart from them, I don't know when I took a complete rest day the last time. I've trained many times, like every day consecutive, and then maybe I'll take one workout here and there and just reduce the volume slightly or something, you know. But you know, I listen to my body. I mean, of course, I tend to, if anything, I tend to overtrain rather than undertrain. But it's not so like I have to go to the gym and hit the workout super hard or I rest. There are things in between there. And so I will just kind of gauge like, am I doing progress? Am I feeling okay? Well, there's no need to rest already then. But if I start feeling like achy somewhere or I'm just stuck with progress, maybe I'll throw in one or two rest days even. Or like a week where I deload a little bit. Wake 2102. Thank for being a good training partner. I have answer. Oh, did we cut in and out a little bit? We're still here at least. I've been doing the Menser HIT method and love the changes of only one workout every 4 to 7 days of rest. It blew my mind. Under 200 pounds and muscles now, first. Okay, only one workout every 4 to 7 days. Okay. I mean, what I would say about that is that that's great if you're making progress like that now, but I don't think it's going to be optimal at a point, you know. I like high intensity, but having so very low frequency seems just unnecessary, leaving gains on the table. Andersson, yo bro, Tressner. I don't know, most hipster doofuses are about 300 nanograms per deciliter. Lol. Exactly, and I was a hipster doofus back then. So, Martin, the mace, is it for increased flexibility or for strength? A lot of it is for fun, you know. Like, this is something, of course, you can learn, you can have fun in the gym too, but I want people to not view everything only as something you have to do because you get something out of it. No, I do it because I do want to do it. It's a nice feeling movement. It's fun mastering this mace, you know, controlling it. But of course, that's the whole point too, that you get something out of it as well. So, you know, for me, it's just I do it almost on a daily basis now. There will be one day here and there, but like right before the stream now, I was out swinging the mace, and I just like having a practice of, instead of the gym where like I actively try to push reps or numbers up, weight or reps and make progress in that way, it's just mastering more and more, controlling, having control over this mace. And I love it because even though I've done it quite a bit now, you can't just chill and do it. You have to brace yourself and use coordination. I have to control the movement like that. So, but if we talk about what it does, of course, it's good shoulder flexibility. It's going to be very healthy movement for the shoulders with this kind of thing going on. It activates the core. A little bit, the hips are going to have to rotate just a little bit too. So it's a sort of, but honestly, the wrists are almost what's working the most for me now. So it's great conditioning and flexibility for wrists, elbows, shoulders mainly. But then it's kind of a full body movement, and it's just a nice physical practice that I like. And I've been thinking I might order it today. Not, I don't know exactly what, but I used to have like a club too, but it got stolen. But I want to get more of these tools that I can just sort of, that you get something productive out of, like we talked about now, flexibility and such. But that the main idea is just like, I just like having fun moving with this movement. Did I miss something? Mace. If you don't understand a mace, search mace bell and you'll see what that is. Ruslan Citizen, if you have low testosterone, I would be super surprised. No, obviously I don't now. Low T, do more deadlifts, stress nurses. Yes, that is a good idea. Real nowhere man. You're a good man doing good things, an inspiration to us all. Thank you, my friend. Well, I appreciate that, my man. Truly do. Thanks. At peace, peace. Do you think deadlift and squat do more for abdominal than sit-ups or crunches? Not for the literal abs, but it's a similar thing. Like with this, I talked about the traps. The traps will indirectly be involved in so many things because they stabilize the shoulders. So even it's not just squats and deadlifts. It's like big movements, not just squats and deadlifts, but think heavy rows or shoulder presses or one-sided exercises, whether that's a press row or like a Bulgarian split squat. Having a lot of this in your program you will have to engage your core more. The thing is, it's just not the abs always. It's like the deeper ab or core muscles. But some of these compounds do more for the abs than others, like front squats. Surprising how much they target the abs. Just because the way you have to brace. Even searcher variations, great for the abs. But if you want to take your abs aesthetics, and the development of the muscles to the next level, you should have some kind of weighted crunching movement as well. The mistake people do with more targeted, isolated ab training is that they don't treat it as the other muscles. For some reason, it's just doing these kind of circuits and just make it burn. But you have to progressively overload within a reasonable rep range of like 8 to 20 reps, progressively have weighting exercise somehow. So, to develop core strength, the big major compounds will do more than any crunch. But we're talking about abdominal development, then we need the more targeted exercises as well. Do you take rest days? If so, what do you spend your time doing on rest days? There was a question about rest days, but I don't think it was the same person. Well, yeah, I'm probably fasting if I take a rest day. No, but the thing is, I will do something, especially now in the summer. Like if I have more time like that, maybe like when I was dry fasting, I took the opportunity to edit these videos of the workouts, right? Because I had more time in the morning when the sun isn't out yet to just sit and do that by the computer. But on a rest day, again, it's resting from that intense work, right? So I would often go swing the mace still on a rest day. I might go to the outdoor gym and just do little mobility, stretching, intuitive stuff, might go on a longer walk. But again, these are all things I can do on a day when I train too sometimes. Take little movement snacks, little movement breaks. It depends. Ruslan Sinisin, how much cardio do you do weekly? 0. Like, especially I've been walking like between 15 and 20K steps per day, and I train every day at a very high intensity. And so I've had to explain this many times. It's also supported in the science, guys, that if you lift weights at a high intensity quite regularly and you get a decent amount of steps in, for health reasons, you don't really have to do more cardio. It would be if you want to increase your performance. And when I go out to run or something, I'm always like a little bit surprised at how fast I can still run and feel all right. So to conclude this point that I've had to make sometimes recently is that if you like lift weights twice per week, you probably have to do a couple of sessions of cardio too, if we're talking for health reasons. But if you, like me, train at a ridiculous intensity every day and you walk a lot, you don't really have to. So zero cardio that I actually view as now I'm going to do cardio. Make folks sound great again. Theo, how much do you weigh at your heaviest? So the heaviest I've weighed was 91 kilos, peak bulk at the end of last year. Then I did a fast, and then I ended up recomping from 89 kilos to 87 over a long time this year. But so 91, the heaviest, and I must say, I don't quite like it's 87 is a great weight for me, but 91 right now it's a bit fluffier than I like. I had pretty good energy still, because that can be one thing sometimes when you bulk heavy, that you feel a bit lethargic. But I still had abs, they're just less defined. I still have my shoulder vein. And in clothing, of course, I look quite big then. But that's the biggest I've been. Now, I didn't weigh myself this morning, but yesterday I was down to 82.6, which is the lowest I've seen in a while, especially considering it's like the best shape I've been in. Have you gone seen that clip, guys? I posted a short of the day after my dry fast when I have like carved up, and it's kind of a sick look. I've never seen myself like that. I'll post that in the chat. It's just a short video. Martin, good for zombie apocalypse as well. What? With swinging the mace? That's the thing. I can come to stuff. I catch up later. 55 people and 59 likes. That's fun. Like if you haven't already. Consider sending a super chat. Support the stream. The testosterone test. Can we do that? We can look at some testosterone tests and see what they cost. Testosterone. And I think this is the place I've done it before. So here's a place, the like testosterone test extra large. It's 895 Swedish crowns. So that's like $80, $80. Can I see what's in that? Well, there's a lot of stuff here that I think I don't care about. I think just for the content side of things, I mean, I'm sure some nerds, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but would be interested to see more. But it's really, I know what we want is really the testosterone, both the total and the free, right? I'll look at the chat a little bit again. Wick 2102. Mentor put emphasis on the need of rest to avoid overtraining and overlapping in training. It's fascinating. Going to failure in the end is easy to overtrain when will is stronger than body. Yeah, but at the same time, I've been training to failure and done progress so well. And yeah, I have overtrained and injured myself at times, but that's not the overall trend. So Mike Mentzer, I haven't listened much to him, but he seems like a kind of guy that, I mean, this interesting kind of guy that clearly had some good ideas, but would say some things kind of as if they were general truths when they aren't really, is kind of my impression from just some clips of him I've seen. Russ's shirt. Mike Mentzer fans are worse than vegans. That's kind of funny. How heavy is that mace of yours? Stop masturbating asks. This one is 8 kilos. It's surprising how, the moment arm, you realize things like that. Well, some objects are so standardized, like dumbbells. But like imagine, because a dumbbell, it sits right here. But imagine when you hold something longer, you're going to have to use way less weight. And that's the interesting thing with these maces and clubs and stuff that, yeah, the longer, how do you say that in English? With the moment arm, you know, when it's longer, it's a completely different thing. So even an 8 kilo mace bell, um, yeah, it's not super heavy to just carry around, but to do these movements with it, even for me, it's like I said, it's not something I can just casually do while thinking about something else, you know. Ah, Martin. Hey Theo, I'm traveling next week without access to gym. Any advice? Plan running and body exercises for time. So you're sure you're not gonna have access to a gym? I mean, we can discuss it because Martin is a client. And I think it's funny, man, that you ask me stuff on stream. I mean, I guess it's helpful because every other people get to hear it, but it's just funny because you can just ask me, you know. Um, no, but if there's no gym available, try to find a place you know, a good sort of minimalist program, I think about. Like, of course, many times you will be able to do something more still, but if you can get like some pull ups in, some dips in, and some Bulgarian split squats in, you have a good little foundation there. If you can add some movements in on top of that, that would be great. But yeah, man, if there's no gym, look for a place where you can do some of that, and we can discuss it more immediately, or like directly. I mean, Kalle Sirén have to go, but thanks for the stream and take care. Take care, Kalle. Ha det bra. Um, Russ's shirt said, Martin, you're not gonna die just because you don't have access to the booty builder machine for a week. It's funny. How did he know that that is his favorite exercise? Tressner, when you're lifting so heavy, every set feels like you just did a short sprint. You're good. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, have you watched? You know, that's one thing I never commented on it over my training videos that I did for like just instructional like templates for you guys. But you see how hard I train in all those, and that's my standard. It's not extra hard workouts or something. It's completely standard workouts for me. Every set, 0 reps in reserve, beyond failure on the last set. On every exercise, it makes sense. Great song on that short, lol. Tressler says, yes, Mega Man, wireless stage. Arban, are you related to the golden one? Are you related? Like, no. Uh, People keep bringing her up to me all the time, and I guess I had to reach out and see if we can make a collab happen. Like I said before, many times, because people ask all the time, we have some mutual friends. So if I can't reach him personally on social media, maybe I can even try to go through some people I know. But no, we're not related in any way. No. Russ's shirt. Damn, you look like Michael Trend in that short. Well, I don't know about that. He's quite a lot bigger, but I like Mike though. It's funny because Mike, everyone treats him like he's this fake natural that lies about being natural, which I'm sure he did more when he's younger. Now it's just like he's playing into the meme and avoiding talking about it. And like, say what you want. Even me, who I'm not pro steroids, I don't think you should use that, but this is a guy that has gone to the elite level. And say, looking like that when you're over 50 years old, have done this your entire life, you know, steroids or not, it's really impressive. And I get lots of exercises I've gotten from him. I'm not sure that I'm quite that big though. Jay, I'm a go hit arms. Good stream and thank you for answering questions. Well, have a good arm workout, man, and thanks for being active in the chat. Make Fox sound great again. So you're 82 kilos now. That's 12.7 stone. But I'm going to guess you're shorter than 6 foot. Yes, I'm like 5'10", 177 centimeters. These fucking stones and feet and inches. Like, when will you guys just get your shit together and you know, like use a proper metric system, like the metric system? Wake 2102, Swedish Giga Chad would break the testosterone scale. Exactly. This one, it was too high the last time. This time, I'm just gonna get like error. Where it's supposed to be a number, it's just like error. Make Fox sound great again. But imagine unironically being a vegan. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Still, I'm a little bit like this, that such a low hanging fruit for a lot of people. Just be like, oh, the vegans, Um, like the way I want to be about vegans, for instance, is that I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. I don't agree with the moral arguments, and I definitely don't think it's the healthiest. But I told this before. A very close friend to me, that's almost like my Greek surrogate sister. She's vegan, and she knows it's not optimal for her health. She doesn't try to push it on me. She even knows that maybe the moral question that it's not entirely, but it's a choice she has done, and she is happy. I've also seen from her that while I think she would be doing better with some more animal foods in the diet, she's clearly, like, she looks healthy, which some vegans don't. So I think she has figured it out pretty well. And when she doesn't push it on me, I'm just like, all right, you do your vegan thing, even if I disagree. At peace. Moment arm is also the English term. Well, thanks for confirming. Make folks sound great again. Yeah, do a collab with a golden one. That would be glorious. I disagree with the dude's politics, but he's genuinely a great role model for young men. Yeah, since I'm not into politics as much anymore, I guess he's still more on the alt-right side of things. I've been more there, right? And then as I started feeling better on the inside, well, I probably have kind of alternative, opinions to most people, but I'm just not. I know that the far right extremist person. I'm just not anymore. But that's the thing too. Like it's great to see someone say something like that. Like, I disagree with the dude's politics, but he's genuinely a great role model for young men. It's like, yes, like, good. You can keep two thoughts in your head at the same time, because too many people are just like, ah, uh, uh, wrong opinion detected. Can't have anything to do with this person anymore. Hate that. Make folks sound great again. This is the British metric system. I'm in Wales. Well, I know that from the Stones thing, but it's still equally as stupid as the American one, right? Sixten Andreasson full. I ordered that shirt today with Kyriakos Grizzly. When he's like, it says full under him. So I proudly be wearing that soon. Bjorn Arnolds, you have probably addressed this before, but did you train this hard from day one? Because I have taken up to 4 days to fully recover from a hard set. I did. I trained to failure from day one. And when I went to the gym, I did more drop sets than I did just normal failure sets, because there's a funny thing, guys. My training to failure really started from a fear of not doing enough. So I started the training to failure and beyond way sooner than I had to. And of course, I got way sorer at the start, but also when you do this sooner, you adapt sooner too. Like, I am sometimes amazed at the fact that how can I just completely annihilate my muscles so much and then I'm barely sore the next day. But look, you don't have to. I like training to failure, but this is why I stress this importance of progression, that you're training hard enough and consistently can make progress. Then you're training hard enough. So, because there are people that don't train to failure quite as much as I do, that still clearly are making good gains and have a good approach. So as long as progress is happening. Russ's shirt. Dude could have been the next Austrian painter if he didn't get into self-improvement and bodybuilding. Golden one, the Austrian painter. I see what you mean. Well, I don't know. I just don't know about his ideas these days, but I of course know which people I know him through, so to say, like the mutual friends. There are some Austrian painter guys there for sure. Okay, running out on stuff in the chat here. I guess we've gone like 2 hours, over way beyond 2 hours actually. But have been having fun with you guys. I'll stick around just a little bit. If anyone wants to show their support with a super chat here before we go, I'd appreciate that. And of course, guys, by the way, we're gonna have the regular stream tomorrow at around this time. It's at 5 p.m. Central European time on Sundays. But I want to try to do this more because clearly I can get a decent audience here these days, even when it isn't scheduled. So today, with one of those, just spontaneous ones. I want to see if I can find a good testosterone test. Let's see this other lab. No, that was the same. What is this place that came up first? I know that was a place. What? I don't know what it is with my search engine, but it's very buggy. Okay, so here's kind of a cheap one. 350 Swedish crowns, so like $30. Then I guess this stream has pretty much paid for it. Except that YouTube steals some of the money, of course. Let's see, what do they test in this test? Oh, okay, this is really only testosterone. We need a free too, of course. Like just a slightly bigger test, you know. Yes, there we go. Yeah, okay. So there's one for 450 Swedish crowns where they test the testosterone that's free and the total and the SHBG, the sex hormone binding globulin that I know is related to the free. Because if you have too high SHBG, it will bind the testosterone. Could do that. So guys, if we are to get this, I'll stick around for let's say 10 minutes more. And if we reach 450 Swedish crowns, that's the cost for this test, even though YouTube takes a little bit, like 30%. But if we reach the number, 450 Swedish crowns, I'll buy this test. I actually just order it today then. So we're 120 Swedish crowns away. So I'll keep talking to you guys a little bit, but if you want to see the testosterone test happen, contribute to the fun. Make folks out. Okay, right, gents. I'm off, Theo. Thanks for answering all my questions. I'll be back for the next stream. I know your channel is going to explode in popularity soon, brother. Later. I appreciate that, man. I'll see you later. Gordon Freeman, have you considered shaving your head again? It's so funny because with my hair and head, I get a lot of input. Like some is like grow it out. Okay, at peace. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, he says. For $5. Yes, some big words and a contribution to the testosterone fund in this case. And yeah, thanks for that. So we are from the testosterone fund. We are 65 Swedish crowns away. So we're like $6 away. So yeah, one or two people, you can make it happen now with a testosterone test. Where were we? Yeah, shaving my head. Yeah, you know, some people, there's like, oh, you look sick, bro, with a buzz haircut. You should do it again. And some are like, no, get a good haircut, like a short, stylish haircut. And some are like, no, grow it out. So right now I'm actually gonna go full jungle man style. Like my girl likes it more when I cut it like shorter. But like I said, that's kind of on ice a little bit. So, because that's the one thing I would do, you know, when I talk about not doing something for a woman, well, something that I don't really care about, my hairstyle, if my girl prefers a certain style and I just don't hate it or anything, I'll do it. But right now, I haven't had long hair in a while and I have such good hair. So I just kind of want to grow out big, go full primal jungle man, you know. So, I mean, I will shave it at some point again, but not now. Disney Dolby one. And has picked up on the body, mind, soul thing with the flex, the emojis, the biceps, the brain, the sun. That's how I say body, mind, soul with emojis. Thank you, Theo. Good day from Florida, off to work. Good day to you, Disney Dolby One. Tresner, have a good one. I'm going to go out and get some of this Florida sun. Enjoy, my man. So we have several Floridians here. Martin, Tarzan mode. Yes. All right. Up to speed on everything in the chat here. I'll just stick around and see if anyone is curious enough about my testosterone. Send a contribution. Should have said that. That's fun. That's good. It was protein yogurt the last time I was pushing, like the protein yogurt fund. Could actually have sometimes something concrete like that. Hey guys, if you give me the cost for this, I'll just do it. um, I mean, there are many things like that probably would do. The testosterone test is a perfect thing. That, like, if it was just me here, if I didn't have make content, I wouldn't care to test it now. But I understand it can be interesting for others. At Peace, representing Texas. I've been in Texas, Florida. I've been in Dallas when I was in the choir 08, and we competed in the International Barbershop Championship. It was in Las Vegas, the competition, but we visited another choir in Dallas that's called the Vocal Majority, and had a concert with them there. So I've been in Dallas. Everything is quite big. I actually, like, of course, I was smaller back then, because I remember at that time of my life, I was not skinny fat. I was more like skinny. I'd been playing online poker and not eating anything a lot, and I remember still though that I bought a shirt that said it was extra small, and it was still like huge on me, and I wasn't that small. Plus size everything is what I've learned in Texas. Russ's shirt, testing test is good and all, but there's also androgen receptor sensitivity. In theory, fasting increases receptor sensitivity from dopamine to testosterone. Yeah, that's kind of my thing sometimes with all of this. When people are asking me how do I raise my testosterone and this and that, I'm kind of like, look, if you stick to some of these healthy habits for a long time, you eat a good diet, you exercise, you lift weights, train at a high intensity, you get sunlight, you get time in nature, you sleep well, and then we can sprinkle in some things like using the sauna, doing cold exposure, like doing these things, and fasting too, like doing these things in a good way, at a good balance for a longer time, uh, of course, they're gonna improve your testosterone, and like even how well you can respond to your testosterone. Yay, chicken feet, so good, I guess. Here you go, $6. So, okay, technically we're 1 crown and 21 cents öre here away. But I'll be nice and consider this that the goal has been reached. No, thanks, man. I appreciate that. So I'll order. I mean, I don't know how fast it will show up, but I'll order the test right after this. That's cool. I get a little excited about it. Just like I said, I wouldn't care about it, but just be like, okay, that's something. It's coming up. Some of you guys, we're waiting to see that. And I'll do it. I remember the last time, I'll do it at a similar time in the day. I did it in like the forenoon in the day. Because, as I know, the testosterone kind of pulses throughout the day. At Peace, you do live in Dallas. Yes, do you guys have American barbecue in Sweden? Well, I don't know if you considered that, but there are definitely like, burger restaurants. We have a bunch of them. I don't know about American barbecue, but some things inspired like that. Sure. But okay, the chat is kind of dead now, and we've reached pretty much, except for 1.5 crowns ish, we reached the target for the testosterone test. So nice, guys. At Peace, please do an America accent before you go. An America accent. I mean, there are many different ones, right? How do they talk in Dallas? I don't quite remember. Well, I'm just going down, going down. It's like I'm gonna have to do an accent and come up with something to say. Um, I don't know, man. Kind of overwhelmed me here. Like, what accent do I pick? What do I say? Can you give me a sentence to say? This is like, when I have Greek lessons, which I haven't had many in a while, but sometimes my teacher will Isabel Smith says, "Thank you so much, man. See you. Well, see you, Isabel. You're a girl. It's nice. We have some girls among all these, well, high T males. I'll assume the guys following me have a high T. Um, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, well, my Greek teacher just wants me to make something up. I'm like, no, can you just give me something concrete to try to say in Greek? Because now it's not even just a Greek problem. It's coming up with something to say. You know, well, I'm just going down to the marketplace. Oh wow, Martin, he sends the last 10 crowns to push beyond the limit, so it's actually official. When y'all coming over for a barbecue? When y'all coming over for a barbecue? I don't even know what accent I'm doing here. Um, um, but yeah, thanks, Martin, for pushing us over the limit. I'm actually going to end the stream now. I'm having fun. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow in almost like less than 24 hours. I'll see you again, guys. And I'll tell you that watching right now, I'm going to publish a leg workout right now. So just update the channel for a minute or two. And then there will be a leg workout after this. And Shokovic, hi, I love you, I love you. Good day, get all them gains, Ronald Wittman. Well, yeah. That's a southern accent. Yeah, it was some kind of southern accent I tried to do. Yeah, Isabel says it's been great. Well, I'm glad, Isabel. Okay, guys, thank you for today. I will see you tomorrow. Peace. And I ordered a testosterone test, and I'll publish a leg video for you now.